Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ananya. In our previous lesson, we talked about 8 main uses of been. Now, if you haven't watched that lesson, there's a link in the description. I want you to watch that lesson because it will make understanding today's lesson much easier. There is also a quiz at the end to test your understanding. So watch the lesson until the end. In today's lesson, we are going to learn all the uses of being. Now both being and being come from the same verb, that is to be. We discussed that in the last lesson. But they are used in completely different ways and different time frames. So before we start, let's quickly understand the difference between being and being. As I mentioned earlier, being and being come from the verb to be, but their forms are different. Being is the past participle of be, while being is the present participle of the verb be. Now, in simple words, being is used to talk about what has happened or been experienced, while being is used to talk about what is happening or how someone is acting right now, that is, at the moment. I hope you understood the basic difference of being and being. Now let's understand 8 main uses of the verb being. The first use is to talk about someone's behavior or attitude. One thing to remember, we always use being with verbs like am, is, are, was, or were. When we describe someone's temporary behavior, something that's true right now but not always, in such situations we use being. Take a look at these examples. You are being rude. It means you're acting rude right now. It's not your normal behavior. You're just acting rude right now. She's being kind today. It means she's behaving kindly at the moment. He was being silly at the party. This means he acted silly, but that's not his usual behavior. They are being noisy again. It means it's happening now. Now here is a common mistake what people make. If you say he is rude, this means it is his character. That's how he is. He's rude. But if you say he's being rude, that's just his temporary behavior. He's not rude in general, or that's not his character. I hope you got the difference. Moving on to the second use of being. We use being in the passive voice. It's used for actions happening now or around now. We use being in the continuous form of passive voice to show that something is being done right now. Here are some examples. The road is being repaired. Again, we are not interested who is repairing the road. The focus is on the repair of the road. The movie is being filmed in Mumbai. The car is being washed. Dinner is being served. The project was being discussed when I arrived. So in all these examples, we are not interested who did it. The focus is on the action or what's happening. And in such situations, we use being. So in short, if you want to say something is happening at the moment, you will always use being. And if it is being done by someone, this is the structure we use. We use is, are, was, were plus being plus the past participle. Alright, let's move on to the third use of being. We also use being to show a temporary state or condition. It's used to show how someone is feeling at the moment. It's not a permanent state, right? It's just a temporary state. For example, she's being difficult today. Possibly she's showing a lot of tantrums, but that's not her usual way of behaving. He's being very quiet lately. Now, possibly something is disturbing him, but that's not how he is. He's a very energetic person, but these days, he's pretty quiet. You're being negative. Try to stay positive. So being negative is not his usual behavior, but possibly because of something, he's being negative. They were being cautious because of the, so possibly someone is driving and because it's raining, they are extra cautious. Alright, moving on to the next use of being. It's used to describe roles or identities. We use being to talk about someone's role, position, or identity, who or what someone is acting as or serving as. Now, in this case, being acts like a noun. It names the state or role of a person. Take a look at these examples. She loves being a teacher. So here, it's acting as a noun. He enjoys being a father. I hate being late for meetings. Being a student isn't easy. Being a leader comes with responsibility. So in all these sentences, being acts like a noun. Now let's move on to the fifth use of being. We sometimes use being to explain the reason for something or the cause for something. And it is especially used in formal or written English. And in such sentences, we always use for or because of. For example, she was praised for being honest. So here we are giving a cause or a reason why she was praised. He got a promotion for being hardworking. So again, he got a promotion, and what's the reason for it? Because he works hard. They were criticized for being rude. I thanked her for being helpful. So the reason for me thanking her is because she was helpful. Now, to form such sentences, we use for plus being plus adjective. And this structure is commonly used to talk about a reason for something or a cause for something. I hope it was pretty easy to understand this use of being. Moving on to the sixth use of being, to form continuous passive voice sentences with having. Now in advanced English, we use having been or being together to describe actions in perfect or passive forms. Take a look at these examples. The document has been being reviewed for weeks. Now you might say this sentence is incorrect because we have used been and being in one sentence. But this sentence is absolutely correct. Now in spoken English, we rarely say been and being. We don't use it in spoken communication, but it's common in writing to show an ongoing process. So here, the document has been being reviewed for weeks. It means the review of the document is an ongoing process. It's continuing. And this is an advanced English structure. If you're appearing for an IELTS written exam and if you use this structure, I'm sure you will get 8+ bands. Now let's move on to the seventh use of being. We can also use being as a noun, and it is especially used to mean a living creature or existence of something. For example, human beings are social creatures. Every living being deserves respect. She believes in spiritual beings. It means she believes in the spiritual world. The forest is full of mysterious beings. This means the forest has a lot of unseen or mysterious creatures or animals. So here in all these sentences, we have used being as a noun, and it means a form of life. And now let's move on to the final use of being. We often use being after prepositions or certain verbs, just like a noun. But here, it's a gerund form. Take a look at these examples. I'm tired of being ignored. She apologized for being late. He admitted to being wrong. They are excited about being chosen. Thank you for being so patient. So in all these sentences, being is functioning like a gerund, describing an action or a state. So those were all the 8 uses of being. Now let's test your understanding. You have 4 questions on your screen, and in the blank, you have to choose the right option, either been or being. If you want, you can pause the video here, take a screenshot, and drop your answers in the comments. So that's it for today's lesson. We covered all the main uses of being, from temporary behavior to passive voice, and even when being acts as a noun. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends who are learning English because they might need this lesson. I'm going to see you soon in the next lesson. Until then, as usual, keep learning and keep practicing English. Bye for now.